We're at a computer again. What are we doing?
We are at a computer. Jono has no idea what's happening.
No.
I have been very sneaky.
I just asked. I said, "What are we doing this vlog?" He goes, "Hey, you wait and see."
Yeah. I'm not telling.
I have no idea. I sit here very patiently.
Yeah. So we've showed up to record today. I have done some things.
Well, you recorded.
Yes.
I was at work, and then I come home and I get a message. Miles, hey,
I've done some things.
Jono,
Don't touch your computer.
I've done some recording. Don't you dare look at your computer. Anyways, when I got home, he kind of rocked up 5 minutes later. So I haven't even been here to have a look.
Yes.
And now I pulled up the last project, and I see 5 waveforms.
Yes.
Can I count? Yeah, 5.
Yeah, you can. You can count. Numbers again.
Yay!
Find X. Here it is.
So, I've done some recording. I've played with some kicks.
The bass drums. That makes sense.
Yes,
they're very short. I was about to say they're very, very short.
Yes. So here's the deal. I just want you to tell me whether you think that these are all the same drum, or whether you think there's one out of the 5 that's better than the others, and then we'll have a chat.
Okay. So I'm gonna listen on first.
Yeah. You get one listen for each drum, and then you got to jump to the next one.
Okay.
You ready?
All right. So I'm gonna move the timeline.
Yep. Right there.
All right. Here we go.
Okay. Next one.
A lot of attack on that one.
Yeah.
Actually, doesn't sound too bad.
Should we have a chat?
Yeah.
Okay. What do you think about? I'm not going to tell you anything about it yet. I'll explain it a little bit. Just tell me what you think of the different sounds and what you see.
So I'm assuming that he's recorded these with the E901.
Yes, I am using the plate mic.
So plate mic, something that I'm familiar with.
Yeah.
Man, there's differences. 100% there's differences, but like if I was to hear that kick drum sound of all those 5 kick drums mixed in with a whole kit, I don't know that.
Do you think there's any that are bad?
No, they're all sounding pretty good.
Yeah.
Like obviously the middle one.
Yeah. I don't know why it's different. We definitely got a bigger wave file, more sound pressure.
Yeah. So just in my experience of doing sound and playing and whatnot, I'm assuming it's probably like an 18.
Yeah.
Because every time I've used my 22s, and I've owned quite a few of them, or even my 20s, they don't produce a sound wave that big. Now I've used cheap 18s, like super cheap 18s, like an 18-inch floor tom converter to a kick drum.
Yeah.
I just recently moved on a Gretsch renowned Maple 18, and it would produce the same kind of
so just a bigger waveform.
A waveform. There's a lot more sound. I guess it's smaller.
Yeah.
There's a lot more attack happening. I said there's a lot of attack on it.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I'd almost bet money that I own this drum.
Yeah. Yeah, you might.
Yeah.
It's possible. So is there one that you think is heaps better than the others? Or, we can definitely tell that the third one is a bigger sound.
Yeah. I don't know. Like, if I was actually looking for a drum to record and sit nicely in the mix of a drum kit for, I guess, the pop rock thing that we do, I'd be moving towards having this whatever this drum is here, this kick drum.
That's the sound?
That's the sound I'd actually be moving towards to have in my studio.
So what if I told you in this list is your studio recording DW?
Nah.
Which one would you think it is out of the 5? We've said 3 is maybe an 18.
I'd have to have a listen really quickly to the first. I don't have to listen to all of it.
Okay, how about we cut to some footage?
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to show you the actual recordings of what I did. So, secrets out of the bag. This is the same drums that we used last week for our blind drummer kick stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's all the same drums that I played with the helmet on.
Yes, that's right. So this is the sound that the audience heard when you were actually...
So, I reckon this one then, I think it was the PDP that I made this sound.
Yeah.
So I'd almost bet money that that's the PDP or a similar kind of drum to the PDP.
Okay.
Oh, well, you said it's ours.
Yeah.
So that's
to
be...
the PDP.
It is?
So number 3 is the PDP.
Right.
How about we watch the video?
Yeah.
We'll see what each of the drums are, and then we can have a chat.
Okay, sounds good.
We'll be right back.
Be right back. Bye!
Wow. Jono. Now, okay, he's hanging his head in shame because I made him write down a list before we watched. So he had to lock in his answers. He couldn't hide anything. Okay. So in the video, the first one was the DW. $1,800 drum. You said it was the Vision.
Yeah.
The Pearl Vision.
Yeah.
You said the second one was the Rhythm Traveler.
Yeah.
The third one you picked as the PDP.
Yeah.
Fourth one you picked as the Yamaha. So
Yeah.
they're good.
Yeah.
And you said the last one was your DW.
Yeah.
Which is actually an $1,800 drum that's not, and it's actually a $400 drum.
Wow. So what was the first one?
So first one was actually your DW.
What did I say it was?
You said it was the Vision.
Vision, okay.
So
wow.
so same size.
Yeah.
That's a good guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the second one, you were way out. So you said it was the Rhythm, but it was the Vision.
It was the Vision, okay.
Still Pearl,
Yeah.
but completely different materials, completely
Right,
different size.
I got the PDP and the Yamaha, right? And the N one I said was DW, and it's a $400 drum.
Yes.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. So like, I listened to the samples. When I was editing, I was like, you know what? We have to talk about this.
Yeah.
Because first of all the kicks sound fantastic. We have done barely anything to this channel. There's an EQ.
There it is.
Yeah, you can see over our
High,
shoulder.
low, and a mid pulled out.
Yeah, basically a V.
That's the whole thing.
Yeah.
Across every kit.
And there's a compressor. That's it. We've done almost nothing. But to have all of them sound that good as the first thing is crazy.
Yeah.
You know? And then the second part, that it doesn't matter the acoustic sound of the drum in the room. It doesn't matter the timbre type much. You know? It doesn't matter whether it's worth $2,000 or whether it's worth $400. You're still getting a sound with that plate mic that is that good.
So it matters what skins are on it,
Yep.
how you've tuned it,
Yep.
and what equipment you're miking it with.
Yes. Yep. So,
And then your skills to EQ, I guess.
Oh yes, yeah. I mean, we didn't do a lot.
No, that is just I was like, out in the middle, boost the bottoms and boost the top,
Yeah.
and we've got a kick drum sound for pop.
Yeah, yeah. I think any of them would sound really good in the mix.
I still like this one.
The middle one, the PDP. Now,
It's just monstrous, man.
It's huge, and it's outperforming drums twice the money.
Yeah.
You know, in this context, that's
Yeah.
really important to remember. We're not miking up the room, so that's another whole thing. If you
Yeah.
had a mic in front of it, a meter out,
Yeah.
that's another conversation.
Yeah.
But
Well,
for those people who mic inside their drum for gigs,
Yep.
it's
That's-
really interesting, isn't it?
And like, you know, if you had a digital mixer, that's 1, 2, 3, 4 bands of EQ
Yeah.
to get that sound. That's incredible.
Yeah.
And that's not it. That's no gate. That's no nothing.
No.
That's quite short.
I'm shocked that the little Rhythm Traveler drum that we've got on the...
That sounds absolutely horrific acoustically.
Yeah. Yeah, it's bad. In the room, it was horrible. And I think you got the better version in the helmet, mate.
I know, but
then it sounds like this.
so tight.
Yeah.
And just punchy. I still would go for this one. It's just like big.
Yeah. But
that was the one that blew me away in the helmet
that's
too.
right. The 18-inch.
But this goes back even further than right now. When we were in Brisbane,
Oh yeah, that's right.
and we first heard this kit at one of the drum stores down there, and
we were shocked at the tone.
we couldn't believe it. We went in to try cymbals, and then we're like, oh, this kit! And I just remember the first thing I was like, how is that whole kit, but especially that bass drum, making that sound? So, anyways.
So I suppose if you watch this video and you're thinking about your setup at home, first thing I would suggest, put some good heads on your kick drum.
Yeah.
And then I wouldn't stress, because if you've tuned it right and you put a mic inside, particularly the E901 plate mic,
plate mic, they're great.
Then they should sound pretty amazing.
Yeah, and I mean, we didn't go into any lengths like that EQ. That's the EQ that I did for last week's video.
I intentionally left the exact same stuff as our last week's video so that you had the chance to try and pick it out.
Yeah.
This is exactly what we recorded last week.
Yeah, that there is exactly what I done.
But not what you heard in the helmet.
No. No, but wow. So, goes to show, you can still make your home kit. You know, like it's all well and good to have really expensive, nice gear. Like I love having expensive, nice gear, but I know my recording kick drum doesn't sound like that with the way that I've manipulated EQs and everything to make it sound. However, just as a straight out shoot up line up with the kick drums and the way those EQs have interacted, or that EQ has interacted with each one of them so far, my pick would not be the drum I'm using at the moment. It would be the cheaper
PDP.
The PDP, the cheaper drum out of the two, just based on that EQ.
Based on the sound.
On that sound. That is,
So
generic EQ.
it's probably worth talking about. You have said from where to go to me as I became a drummer, maple.
I love maple. Yeah.
It probably comes through a bit here.
Yeah.
It is that it's an 18.
Yeah.
But it's an 18 maple.
Yeah.
So the timber inside the drum has a lot to do with the sound that we're getting.
Yeah. And I'm only still using stock heads on that.
That's right. This is what came in the box.
Yeah. Like, I know I probably should have put something better on it by now. But at the same time,
why would you change it?
I'm not going to, because, like, we did the recording with, when we unboxed it, and then we did against the franking kit.
That's right.
It came out really nice.
That's right.
I've done a couple of local gigs with it, and it sounded fantastic. I did a local recording session online with some local, original music that we were doing here, and it came out sounding unbelievable. And then we've done this last week and this week.
This just confirms it, Dave. That's the end.
I need stock heads on it forever.
So I would be really, really interested, and I think I know the answer already. I think this is specifically a kick drum thing. I don't think there is any chance we would have these same results with a snare drum.
No. I'd probably pick a snare drum through the helmet.
Yeah.
Compared to that.
Yeah.
And even on here.
Yeah. I think it has a lot to do that we're miking inside of the drum.
Yeah. Instead of externally, and there's, I don't know, that there though is just unbelievable.
Yeah.
I look. There's so many factors with snare drum, toms, whatever.
That's right.
But
that's right. We're talking about this at the moment. For kick drums, pick the right mic.
Sennheiser E901. Go and check the review. We did of it ages ago.
Yeah.
It'll be in the link at the end of the video. Have a look. It just like we did it with the mic inside. We did it with two mics. We did the whole thing, and just that plate mic on its own, it holds itself in a world class scenario. So yeah.
So. Just before we go, we've talked a lot about the PDP and the crazy cheap Rhythm Traveler because they're shockingly good.
Yeah.
Is there anything or any comments you've got about the other three?
Look, I think personally, like, I love the PDP. I love it for convenience sake. I love it for traveling. I love all that. And I'm sure that the Rhythm Traveler would be exactly the same. And look, the sound that they're giving, you can mic up at a gig, is fantastic. But honestly, when I'm sitting behind a drum kit in the studio, I don't know, there's something about playing a 22.
It's not quite the same, is it?
And the volume of air that it fills up in the room, and the feeling that kick in the chest that you get, that you don't get from an 18, I still preferably would play a 22. And I know I could manipulate the EQ to make it sound as big and as fat as I want it to sound.
That's right. If we spend some time here, it's another story completely.
But I would prefer, as a drummer, I would probably, like, the Vision is a great sounding kick drum. Like, we heard it here.
Yeah.
It sounds great. The DW, obviously, it's DW, and Yamaha, they've been around for a long time. They're making quality gear. Pearl is obviously as well. Vision it sounds fantastic.
Yeah.
They make, they got their Master Series, which is great. But as a size goes, in the studio, I want to use a 22.
Yes.
Anyways.
I have to do it.
You beat me.
I beat him.
You broke me,
This
bro.
is the first, like, I know this is a different type of blind test.
Yeah.
And you're not hearing the real sound that you would get out of the drum.
Yeah.
But this is the first time that Jono's sort of been mistaken about any of the gear that we've gone through. And if his ears aren't picking the difference, then nobody else's are either.
No,
you know?
I mean,
so
gotta be real picky.
That's right. All of these drums sound fantastic.
Yeah.
Reality is you can make your kick sound fantastic too.
Yeah.
Don't stress about good gear when it comes to kick and toms and that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Snare's another story. We'll talk about that later. But work with what you got. Yeah. Because
you don't have to have a boxy EQ sounding kick drum. You can have like that there without those EQ settings. They're pretty flat.
Yeah.
And that's a real simple kind of thing. That there you got cheap drums, expensive drums, and they all sound good.
That's right. That's exactly right.
So your cheap drum kit can sound amazing. If your amazing drum kit, you're going, it can still sound amazing.
That's
it's
right.
just how you
that's
get your settings around.
100% in.
So, anyways.
Guys, we're going to call it there.
Yep.
I'm going to end on my victory, and this will be the last JBDrumTalk video ever, because he's going to beat me from here on out. So. Anyway, guys, like, subscribe, tick all the boxes. We will see you next week.
We'll see you next week.
JBDrumTalk.